What's going on today? Let's talk about hash cracking. So most of you know what's hash cracking. It's the process of finding out what is the password starting from the hash. So if you're given a hash, your final objective is to, between double quotes, crack the hash and then find the corresponding password. That's the general sense of this concept. But now let's talk about the process. What's the concept behind it, and what are the methods of hash cracking? So at the very first, we have to understand that all of the passwords are not stored as plain text. They are stored as a hash function. So basically, when you log into a site such as Twitter, right, you enter your password, right? And then your password is then hashed, okay? And it is compared to the hash that exists in the database. So there's a database where you have your username and you have the hash of your password. So if the two hashes match, you will be authenticated and you will get access to your account. But if the password you entered, whose hash doesn't match the hash stored on the system, it means you will not be authenticated and it will throw you out. So that is the very first thing we have to understand first, is how passwords are stored in computer systems. So they are stored as hashes, and hashes are, say, one-way function. So the hash here, you have the password, okay, and then once you convert the password to hash, the hash cannot be converted back to password. Yeah, there are some times where you have collusions and other cryptographic attacks, but in general, the hash cannot be converted to a password, right? That's why we have a concept on its own called hash cracking. So let's talk about hash cracking methods. So now we understand why we crack hashes. We crack hashes to find the passwords. So the first method is actually the rainbow tables. And the next method is the brute force attacks. These are the two most popular methods in cracking hashes. So what about rainbow tables? Now, rainbow tables are actually, so say you have a rainbow table and the table has, see here, list of hashes and passwords. So you have the hash and you have the password, corresponding password, the hash and the corresponding password, and you have the third hash and the corresponding password. So say you have an MD5 hash, okay? Now how you crack this MD5 hash? You will compare the MD5 hash to the list of the existing hashes here. Once you find a match, it will give you the corresponding password. So that is rainbow tables, and rainbow tables are actually, unlike brute forcing, performing the hash function isn't a problem here. So as you can see, with all the values already computed, it is just simplified to a simple search and compare operation on the table. That's how it works actually, the rainbow tables. And if you are actually trying this as an online attack, you will be directly authenticated to the service, such as SSH or could be HTTP, any service that you are trying to crack online. If it is using rainbow tables, or if you're using rainbow tables, it will authenticate you directly without the need to know the password. That's also one of the other advantages of rainbow tables. Now, building rainbow tables is time consuming. Also, a large amount of storage is required for storing the tables. Now, let's talk about the brute force attacks, which is more popular than rainbow tables. Now, in brute force attacks, you have a word list. Normally, the word lists are stored in text files. So here you have a word list, right? So word list.txt, text file of many popular passwords. So it's a file that contains passwords. Here you have around, it could be like 1000 passwords. An example would be rocku.txt. So rocku actually is a very popular word list. Now, brute force attack, what do we do here? We have a hash, such as, let's get back to the MD5 hash example. So the MD5 hash here, we have an MD5 hash. We want to crack the hash and find the corresponding password using brute force attacks. So what do we do here? We have a word list such as RockU. What do we do here? There are certain tools that can help you in the process. For example, you have Hashcat. It's very popular. And you have John the Ripper. And also you have some online tools such as CrackStation. As you will see now in the practical example, we use CrackStation a lot. So CrackStation. So basically these tools, what they do actually, they take the word list you have, which is in this case rocky.txt, and calculate the hash of every single password. So every password here is actually, the hash of this password is calculated and then compared to the hash that you have supplied, right? If they match, then you will be given the password. That's how it works in a very brief and simple way. Now we're going to take practical example from our popular site TryHackMe. There's a room called Crack the Hashes, and you're given many hashes to crack. So we're going to take some of these, right? I'm going to leave the rest for you guys to practice. So let's get started now. So level 1, can you complete the level 1 task by cracking the hashes? So we're given certain types of hashes. So how the process actually works. So first we have to identify the type of the hash given. Most of the time you're not given the type of the hash, so you have to find out what it is. So let's take this as an example and identify the type of the hash. So we have online tools and we have offline tools. An offline tool could be hash. Let's make this bigger so you guys don't complain about the font. All right, and we paste this. I think I have copied the hash in the wrong way. So paste. And as you can see, the possible hashes are SHA256 and Haval256. Now, if you want to cross compare the results, you can also use an online tool called Hash Analyzer. So Hash Analyzer. Sometimes the output of offline tools or online tools might not be reliable, so it's always good practice to compare the results or output of many different tools. Analyze, so hashtag MD5 or MD4. While list here we got SHA256 and we didn't get actual MD5. So nevertheless, now we can open Hashcat and then crack the hash. So when using tools to crack the hash, it's very important to give the tool the type of the hash, right? So for example, we start Hashcat by typing Hashcat and then -m. Here we define the type of the hash. So basically Hashcat uses numbers to denote the type of the hashes. For MD5 it is 0. Now how do you know? So what you will do here, you will go to the site actually, and here is the table of all the example hashes. So if you search, you see MD5 is actually 0. So that's how you find out the mode of the or the type of the hash using Hashcat. So basically then, what do? We have to give it the file that contains the hash. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna step back, copy the hash and create a file. Let's create a directory first, hashes, cd hashes, and then create a file called hash1, nano hash1, store in the hash, save it, and back to hashcat-m0, and then we give it the file that contains the hash. It is hash1. All right, and then we give it the word list. If you remember, the word list is very important to actually find the password. Without the word list, there is no password. There is no, we can't do anything. So user share word list RockU. All right, and we start. Now, an alternative method to Hashcat is using John the Ripper. So basically, John the Ripper, it's actually important to always define the format. Sometimes if you don't define the format, it's not gonna work. So basically we say dash dash format equal MD5, right? And then dash dash, oops, wait. Let's take this one. Define the file containing the hash, and this is the word list ready for you. So I'm gonna just replace this with MD5. Sometimes you don't need to define the type of the hash, right? Just give it John Tripper, and sometimes it will be auto-detected. So unknown ciphertext format requested. All right, so let's remove this one. Okay. So as you can see, it's not complaining that we need to define the type of the hash. So when you see the output, many mentions of dash dash format, it means the program needs to know what is the type of the hash. As you can see, it's dash row MD5. So let's use this one. Okay, so as you can see, the password is actually easy. That's the password. Let's take a look at hashcat. Also, the password actually here is found to be easy. Easy as an adjective and easy as an answer. So this is the password. Submit. Okay. Right. Now let's take the next hash. So I'm going now to copy the hash from the other monitor. All right. So let's now go to the online tool and paste in the hash. So this time it is SHA1. So we go to the table here and type SHA1. So the mode is 100 for hashcat. So nano hash 1. Let's remove this one and replace it with this. So the same command, just change the mode and start. Okay. Right. Now let's use John the Ripper now. So John, let's try not mentioning or not giving the type of the hash using the format. See if it can crack the hash. As you can see now, it's telling you to define the format. So it is now we have to define the format. So dash dash format equal row SHA1 dash dash show this is the password. So no idea why it didn't go through the process of cracking the hash like it did in the previous hash. So this is the password. All right. So why am I using two tools? It's always best to compare, as I told you guys, the results of the output of two tools, of many tools, to corroborate and make sure the output you got is actually correct. Okay then. So we have also another hash. This one is actually identical. The process is the same. You can use, let's use crack station for this one. So crack station. Okay. There you go. Verify. So this is the password. Let me in, and this is the type. So tools like CrackStation, you don't need to supply the type of the hash. It detects the type of the hash automatically. Okay. Now the next one. Now this one is different actually, you can see. Take a look at the hint. Search the hashcat examples for $2 $Y. This type of hash can take a very long time to crack. So either filter RockU for 4-character words or use a mask for 4 lower alphabetical characters. So this one actually is different. This is bcrypt hash, and sometimes bcryptic takes long time to crack, so we prefer using online tools for this one. So we go back to crack station and we apply this. Let's see if we can find the answer. Unrecognized hash format. All right, so this means we have to use analyzer to find out the type. So as I told you, it is bcrypt. Now in hashcat, bcrypt is 3200. As you can see, every hash that starts with $2 and then character followed by $, it means this one is bcrypt, and it is used, as you can see, in Unix systems. So guys, I'm gonna show you the command, but I'm not gonna go through the process, it's gonna take time. So I'm gonna show you the command and then give you the answer directly. So hash, just the same command, this one. And here, replace 100 with 2200. Of course, don't forget to put the new hash in the file. Okay, now the password for this one is, take a look at this. Bleh. Okay, next one, let's take this one. Go back, identify the type of the hash, MD5 or MD4, use crack station. It is eternity 22. So now guys, you know the drill, right? Analyze the hash and find out the type of the hash, and then you're free. You can use online tools, or you can use John or Hashcat. So task 2, increase the difficulty. All of the answer will be in the classic RockU password list. Okay, and then we might have to start using Hashcat here and online tools. It might also be handy to look at some example hashes on Hashcat page. Okay, so answer the questions below. This is the hash. This one is kinda long hash. It seems to be SHA-256, or yeah, let's find out. So we go to analyzer. It's SHA-256, and now in Hashcat SHA-2 5000. Let me search for 256. So we have Cisco iOS type. This is SSHA. Nope, we don't want this. SHA-256 script. Let's take a look at the format. Where is the hash? So there is no $signs here. So which means if we go up again and search, so SHA-256 1410, and this is the format, but as you can see, it uses salt. The given hash doesn't use salt, so it is not 1401. See this one, SHA-256, and it matches the formats of the given hash, so it is 1400. So again guys, show you the process. Just do like that, and then you will find the password. The password for this one is Paul. Next one, this is the hash. So as you can see, we have a hint here. So let's take a look at the hint. NTLM. This is NTLM hash type. Used by Windows. So let's copy that and go to the online tool. We have I know, I forget one, and we have the hash. So it's telling me it is MD5 or MD4 at the hint NTLM. Interesting. Let me use hash identifier in this case. Hash identifier. MD5 domain cached credentials. Okay, let's follow the hint and search for NTLM here. So net NTLM not quite the way the thing I want. Let's see here. So NTLM is actually 1000. So again, we go to hashcat, and here put in one additional 0, enter, and you will find the password. So let's see the password here. Password is N63UMY81K, and then lastly for F for I. Wrong. N63UMY8. This one is L. Okay. All right, next one. So this hash uses salt, and the salt is given a really hard salt. As you can see, whenever you see $6, it means you have SHA 512 crypt hash, which cannot be cracked using online tools. You have to use offline tools, and it's gonna take time. So $6 means you have SHA 512 crypt, $6. That is the salt, and most of the time it's used actually by Unix systems to store the hashes. So what do we do here? We're gonna go back and search for SHA 512. Crypt. So it is 1800. Again, back guys, use hashcat, define the mode, and you will find that the password is W1 WA Waka 99. This one may take some time, so be patient if you want to find out about the password yourself. Okay. Oh no, we have one. So hash and the salt. Okay, this one is interesting. The salt is TryHackMe. Can we find out the type of the hash first? Let's see. So it is SHA1. Now, going back to hashcat, search for SHA1. Let's see here. So MD5 SHA1. No, let's go up, scroll up. Search for SHA1. So SHA1 is 100. Very simple. Go back to the tool, define the mode as 1, and you will find out that the password is 481616481616, and it is finished. Now, the purpose of this video, guys, is not to crack every single hash you encounter, right? To understand the process, analyze the hash, find out the type of the hash, right? Does it contain salt or not? And then you use online tools or offline tools. That's it. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.